antenna on it. And yeah, you can use this device to do research on RFID tags and readers. This is finally the final version, how it will look like if we produce it. There are some specs over here. Yeah, it's mainly like a normal PDA with extensions for digital signal processing. Then, as you remember, the DSP processing board is the board that we finished right now. We're still in the process of designing the other parts. Here you can see a picture of our DSP processor. We use an analog blackfin processor with some memory. And later on, we will also, in 2010, we will be finished with the backplane on which the DSP processor connects and with the analog front ends. The final date where we are able to sell this RFID Guardian to other researchers and other interested people and hackers is about 2010. You can find more information on this project on rfidguardian.org. Here we post updates on this project, and you can also find all the information on how to build your own RFID Guardian and which software we use. So if you have any questions, please contact the leader of this project, actually. You can find her email address on the website I just gave on rfidguardian.org, or you can find it here. So I think this is most of it for the RFID Guardian. So are there any questions? I saw a question.
Test, yeah. Looks like it works. My question was, I've got two questions. How much is it going to cost to buy an RFID Guardian once it's finished? And secondly, how does the RFID Guardian recognize which readers are legal readers and which aren't? How does it distinguish between readers?
The cost we intend to sell these RFID Guardians for right now is around 200 till 250 euros. We don't know the final price, of course, because we did not finish the whole design of the RFID Guardian, but it will be around this price. For your second question, it was how the RFID Guardian can recognize.
Yeah, how does it know which reader is allowed to access which tag? How does it recognize them?
Well, the user itself gives a list of which readers are allowed to access the tags. Of course, the readers right now, they don't broadcast any information of who they are. However, if this project will be a success, it will be easier for us to talk to manufacturers of readers and to ask them if they can broadcast some kind of information about which reader they are. So then you can make a rule in your RFID Guardian which says, like, any reader that does not identify himself cannot access my tags. And any reader that identifies himself and has this identification, then he can access my tags.
But then won't the problem be that other readers can also pretend to be that legal reader by also submitting the same identification?
Sorry?
Wouldn't other readers also be able to identify themselves, pretend they are a legal reader by submitting the same authorization?
Yes, of course, but then you need a kind of protocol that secures the kind of fingerprint or something that our RFID Guardian can recognize that this is a valid reader or not. Yeah, and so that's the common security, I think.
So basically the RFID Guardian depends on the implementation of that protocol and everybody sticking to it, which is not the case if I understand you correctly.
Sorry, I could not understand your question.
If I understand you correctly, at the moment there's no protocol yet for readers to identify themselves, and the RFID Guardian needs that protocol in order to work correctly.
Yes,
yeah.
Basically they will. Yes, I see another question.
Hi, I have two questions. The first question is about, with the jamming that you were talking about, how...
excuse me,
is it not on? There?
Yeah, that's better.
Okay, sorry. With the jamming that you were talking about, how much information is able to be seen about the jamming by an external reader? So how much can an external, let's say you have a rogue reader, how much can it determine about the existence of your card or whatever from the jamming? And then the second question was around, have you had any early feedback from, say, the transport companies or whatever, claiming any sort of intellectual property ownership such that they wouldn't let you actually copy the content of your own card onto your Guardian? So you're saying you could copy the content of your own card, right? So are they saying, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me, right? If one of the companies says, oh, no, you can't you may buy the card, but you can't copy, you can't clone the content. So I'm just wondering.
Sorry, this last part I cannot understand anything of.
So if you bought, say, a public transport card, and you were saying that you could clone the content, yeah? Have you had any indication from any of these organizations about whether or not they will try to prohibit the cloning of the content through some legal maneuver?
Yeah, they might, but mostly it's like that you copy the data on a card. So, for instance, the balance on your card, and it's pretty hard to put anything legal against that because it's just it's a number that you copy, and it's a value. It's not something that is invented by someone or something. So, they might find a way around it, but then again, I mean, if they find a way to sue you, then still they have to catch you when you do something wrong. So what we wanted to do was to prevent them of doing wrong, rather than seeing first them doing something wrong and then act after that.
So, and that first question was about if you have a rogue reader, if you have running around, can it see, oh, there's something jamming the device? Mm-hmm. It can see the jamming, or does it just appear as not visible?
Well, to a reader, a commercial available reader, it won't be really visible that you're jamming, actually. He will just see a lot of noise, and that's it. But if you have specialized equipment, then you can, of course, see that some jamming is going on. However, we do it in such a way that it's, it's hard to detect what we're actually jamming. So it's still, of course, it's visible. You can see it, but it's very hard to see which tag is jammed, and also, it's hard to do. So it's sufficient. How do you say? So in the end, it's actually not possible to see which tag is jammed. Any more questions? Yes, please.
Of what frequency band RFID tags is the RFID Guardian capable to interact? Only on the most usual